Good afternoon. Welcome. It's a wonderful turnout. I'm Alan Winston, Chairman of the Chemung County IDA. On behalf of the agency, we're delighted to announce today a final agreement with Robbie Nichols has been reached that returns pro hockey to First Arena for the upcoming season. This is a very positive and significant development for the city of Elmira, Chemung County, and our community. In 2016, the IDA purchased First Arena in order to prevent the facility from closing. There was strong community support for keeping the arena operational and active. We also understood the bigger picture, that the arena is a vital link for economic development in the city of Elmira, especially with Elmira having received $10 million in economic revitalization funds, which includes projects such as the West Water Street initiative. The IDA's ultimate goal has always been for private ownership of the arena. It remains so today, and this announcement is a step in the right direction. I want to especially thank Mike Cruzen, the Executive Director of the IDA, for his extraordinary effort in making this agreement possible. We would not be here today without Mike's determination to assure that First Arena remains open to the public and has a professional hockey team commitment. Thanks to Robbie Nichols for his willingness to bring pro hockey back to Elmira and help us manage the arena. Robbie has been very successful with the Pioneers at Dunn Field, and we believe he will be successful as well with the pro hockey team at the arena. I now want to have Tom Santulli come up, if you would please, and say a few words. County Executive Tom Santulli. Thanks, Alan. Yep.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me back there? Just want to say what a good day today has been and is going to be, and what Robbie Nichols is going to be talking about. I've got a little history here in this building. In 2000, when I first became county executive, I remember dropping the first puck in this facility, and the excitement there was when we opened First Arena, which then was Coach USA, and all the people that came here and enjoyed this great facility. You know, I can remember the controversy we had when we were building it. We got through it. We opened up and and for many years had a very successful franchise here in the city of Elmira. People came. I was one of the people. I was not a hockey enthusiast, and Robbie knows that. Really never followed hockey. First thing I did was buy a book. I still have the book. It's called Hockey for Idiots, and it gave you all the rules, trying to understand what was going on as you were watching a hockey game. Became season ticket holders along with my wife, and enjoyed this experience for a long time. And you know, we had good times. We had some not so good times. We experienced different problems. We watched attendance go down. We watched some really difficult things happen. We had a second ownership, people that tried to make it work but were unable to. It became, again, another issue in the community. But I got to tell you this, the good news is that we're back. There is going to be professional hockey here. It will be exciting. I'm sure Robbie will guarantee that. And I just want to say a couple words about Robbie. We can agree and disagree about all kinds of things in life. I can tell you this about Robbie Nichols. My picture of him is this: hard worker, committed, creative. He's done a super job with the Elmira Pioneers. You've really made it something to be very, very proud of. When he was here, and he was here for a number of years as the general manager. Prior to that, he was a coach. Back in '82, he started a professional career, was drafted by the Philadelphia Flyers. And I say all that because Robbie really is the first guy that will come into this picture that really knows the game of hockey, that experienced the game of hockey, who has coached at many different levels, and was a general manager of this facility. Mike Cruzen and I laughed. We called each other, who could call each other first last night. He beat me to the punch to go by Robbie, and watching people is doing something as simple as cleaning the windows. You know, Robbie out there making sure that this place will be up to snuff, it'll be presentable. And I know he's got a lot of plans going forward. And I just want to finish in saying We know there's a lot of work that needs to be done to this facility to get it where it needs to be, and Robbie is going to partner with us to make that happen. And I think it's incumbent upon us as we move forward that, you know, having this facility the way it was when there were between 2,500 to 3,000 people at many games really brought a lot of life to downtown Elmira. It was, you know, interesting watching everybody get here and everybody beeping their horns when we left if we've won a game. There was a lot of vitality in downtown Elmira when the Jackals were playing. Now we got, you know, new energy, maybe not new, but new in this role, and I certainly look forward to working with you, Robbie. I think you're exactly what we need. The energy, the creativeness, the knowledge to make this facility what it was when we first opened it. So congratulations and thank you for your commitment.
That's all right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just quickly, I really do want to take a second to thank Alan Winston, our chair of the Chemung County Industrial Development Agency, for his commitment and tenacity to dealing with the First Arena. I want you to know how, and I know there's been a lot of opinions in this community about where it was, how we got to where we are today, but this has been tough. I mean, the IDA stepped up when the last ownership group found itself in a position where, quite frankly, they were in the process of walking away from the arena, and which would have left this building, quite frankly, in a state of disrepair at the time, and also would have probably resulted in, I think, permanent closure, if not for the IDA stepping up. And I will tell you this, to open a building after it closes is very, very difficult. So the IDA's commitment was to keep it open, keep youth hockey going, keep events going on, while we looked for an ownership pathway forward, which is why we're here today. So credit to the IDA. They used an awful lot of their resources, almost $3 million, to settle with Chemung Canal Bank in order for us to be able to move forward and look for the opportunity to keep professional hockey in the community. Alan also mentioned, you know, at that point it was so important to keep this building as an option for a viable professional hockey team. As you know, we just won the $10 million downtown revitalization grant, and we've got wonderful projects going on, and I'm not going to repeat them all here today. I know Jennifer Herrick is here, and she's doing an awful lot of good work in downtown, but to have this facility and the importance of it to that puzzle that we're trying to put together to make for a more vibrant downtown, to put this facility in a position where it would have closed permanently would have been devastating to this community. So credit goes to the IDA. Tom Santulli, both as a member of the IDA as also the county executive. He's been committed from the beginning. We've got some of our county legislators here, Ken Miller, Bill Fairchild, Marty Chalk, Mike Pastrick, all very committed to making sure that this works moving forward. So great crowd. Can't wait to see that first game. I'll let Robbie tell you when that's going to be. But I also want to tell you about Robbie Nichols through this process, because we tried this a year ago and just weren't able to get there. And our concerns were this, is there's a fair amount of capital improvement that needs to occur to this building. And as soon as this lease is finalized, which it is actually finalized, but after today, we're going to start working with Robbie to walk through this building and put together a punch list of things that need to be done that we can apply for a state grant, and we're looking for about $3 million. We're going to do some work on the ice plant, the roof, we're going to spruce up the seats, we're going to do some work on the suites, and we're going to get this place looking like it used to look. And I think the person that can make sure that we maintain that is Robbie Nichols. So Robbie, through this process, has been nothing but about making sure that he brought hockey back here for this community. We certainly had some bumps along the way in making sure that this worked for us, but also for him. But he's been nothing but a responsible partner, and I think he will continue to be. And my commitment to him through the process has been, and it will be today in front of you, I will do everything I can along with the IDA to make sure that Robbie's successful here and that there's a pathway to ownership for him. You know, if he does the next couple of years, where I think he will, and bring people back in here and make this a vibrant piece of that downtown puzzle, we owe it to him to help him eventually own this facility as well. And we're committed to making that happen. So, again, thank you to all of you for being here. I know that that's very important to Robbie to see that kind of support from the community. I will certainly sign up for my season tickets, and I hope you do as well. And without further ado, I'm sure I don't have to introduce him to most of you, but I will. Robbie Robbie Nichols, the next owner of this facility, if we have anything to say about that. Robbie Nichols.
Thank you to everybody. I wouldn't have to be here if it wasn't for all you people. All the great support we receive in this community, to our baseball team, now to our new hockey team, to all our great sponsors. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to my very supportive wife. If you're here the last couple of days or driving by, my daughter Tabitha, my son Kane, my daughter Whitley, my son Donnie, and our grandchildren, you'd see us outside sweeping up cigarette butts, cleaning this room that was full, and I had some issues to get you in here today. There's a lot of cleaning and a lot of work to be done. But before I go any further, I please ask for a moment of silence. A great friend of all of ours, especially at the Pioneers, our friend Joey, who drives a three-wheeler around town, was found deceased last night. So if I could have a moment for Joey. Thank you. Joey, we love you. Thank you to Al Charlap for standing by me through this. This has been a tough process. He's my attorney and really helped me out. Thank you to Mike Cruzen. We had some battles on this. Last year we battled and I walked away. This year we battled and we had a draw, and we're going to work as great partners, and we're going to bring life back to this building. And really, my wife and I, we're going to be the holders of the keys, just like we are at Dunfield. The city's great to work for there. We're the holders of the keys, and all the fans, you make it happen by coming out. All the sponsors, you make it happen by coming out. I entered into a lease agreement to lease the building with an option to purchase it down the road. And we will be bringing professional hockey back this season. When I talk to people about this, I talk to some of my friends who say I'm crazy. The arena has a few issues. The ice plant doesn't work. The roof is leaking. The boilers are leaking. The scoreboard's not working. The Zamboni's not working. The dasher boards are ruined. The glass is broken, to name a few. I don't need any more work in my life. I don't need another job. I don't need any more headaches. So I sat down with my wife. We had about 10 meetings. Every meeting came back to the same thing. Because we care. We care about Elmira. We care about the Twin Tiers. We care about the fans. We've been foster parents over 20 years in different communities, and we care about this community. Players of hockey and baseball will be very active in the community. If you have an event going on, we're going to be there right with you. We've been blessed along the way. We've been lucky. We have made great friends in this community and leaders that care about this community. The Pioneers and the Elmira, soon to be named, would not be here without our great community leaders. I'd like to introduce one of the great partners of the Elmira Pioneers and the Elmira soon to be named leaders, their Vice President, Jen Green from First Transit.
Thanks, Robbie. Myself and Jim Gorman are happy to be here. First Transit has been a proud partner of this community for almost 20 years. We've been the naming rights sponsor since the doors opened. Back then it was Coach USA. We've been First Transit since 2003. We're excited. We're happy to see this come back. This is great for the revitalization efforts here. We're proud of what Mike Cruzen and Robbie Nichols are doing here, and we're just happy to continue the partnership. So we plan to continue moving forward, and we're excited. Thanks very much.
Thank you to Jen and First Transit. Another great partner when I need anything. He's the first guy I call. And he's with Hilliard, Jan Vandenblink, and here is Claire, who's always there right beside him to help us out. And here's Claire from Hilliard.
Thank you, Robbie. Congratulations. Our business has been here since 1913, 113 years, and we're very proud to be a community supporter. Assets like the arena are exactly that, assets to the community. We enjoy having the facility be available for our employees and their families, just as we enjoy visiting the Pioneers and having that. So congratulations to Robbie. I want to thank Alan Winston, Mike Cruzen, Tom Santulli thank you for being persistent. So for those of us, myself included, who love hockey, congratulations, and we look forward to spending a nice, fun winter here at the arena. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you to Hilliard. There's so many great partners. It wouldn't be possible without them, so I just want to name a few that mean so much, and when we need help, they're there for us. Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Bully Hill Vineyards, Arnett Health, Seneca Beverage, Ryan Distributing, Simmons Rockwell, Elm Chevy, Multimedia, and the list is about 500 more. They're all great community partners, and they make this happen for us here. I told you we're going to have a franchise in the Federal Hockey League this upcoming season. The president of the Federal Hockey League, who I've known for about 30 years, is with her today, Mr. Don Kernan.
Thank you very much. I'm very fortunate to have people like Robbie in the community. The Syracuse Stars, which I own, which is up the up the street a bit, about 100 miles. We have an affiliation with the Syracuse Crunch. For 20 years, nothing happened in Syracuse, and in 1994, an ownership group came in. It's worked ever since. We also have an affiliation with Utica in the AHL. And nothing happened in Utica until one of our former players, Rob Esch, took over the team, and now they're doing great. Unfortunately, around the country, not everybody has somebody like a Robbie Nichols that could step in and run the program. And I also ran a junior league, and we were in a lot of trouble with USA Hockey, and we had to get a world-class attorney to work with us, and we used Al Charlotte, and he handled everything for us. So I got a lot of friendly faces here that we've known for a long time. But I think the vision of the league is to be similar to what the IHL is. Half of our league right now is basically former IHL teams, and with Robbie's involvement, the league is going to get bigger and better. And I would say this, and whenever we talked about buildings like this or situations like this, there was really nothing done wrong by previous people, previous owners, previous management. There's about 75 teams around the country that have gone out of business and not made it. And the difference between them and Elmira is Robbie Nichols. And you're fortunate you have someone like this, and I think this is the best situation. I'm a little bit embarrassed because somebody 8 years ago told me that this would be a good situation. I wasn't smart enough to figure it out, and the person that told me 8 years ago was Robbie Nichols. So he saw it a lot further ahead than I did, but that's why he's the right person, and you couldn't be in better hands. Thank you.
I think I remember that meeting. I won't tell you who it was with, but I drove and they flew in a helicopter, and we met in Syracuse. I remember that meeting. My wife and I know we'll be only as strong as our employees. We have an amazing staff with the Elmira Pioneers, and we intend on putting amazing staff over here. Today I want to introduce to you our new general manager. He worked with me with the Elmira Jackals. I hired him here approximately 8-9 years ago. He moved, after 1 year of a little bit of training, he moved to the American Hockey League. He spent 3 years in the National Hockey League with the Columbus Blue Jackets. He has been the vice president of the Binghamton Senators and the Binghamton Devils for the past four years. Ladies and gentlemen, our new general manager, Mark Witt.
Great response. I like that. I'll keep it short and sweet. I am super excited. I obviously want to thank Robbie for this opportunity. I want to thank my family. This is a great sports community in general. This is a beautiful facility, one of the best I've ever seen. I'm super excited to just get to work, get a staff in here, get the community behind us, and get hockey back in Elmira. So thank you all, and we'll see you this season for hockey.
Thank you, Mark. We promise to have First Arena busy again. Every weekend. This is just not a hockey facility. This is going to be used, if you name it, we're going to have it. Today I'm on the phone bringing a circus back. I've agreed to 2 nights of World Championship ice racing. We'll have the staples of the wine on ice. We're talking about to Big Fox to bring their, sorry guys, Big Fox to bring their sports show back, and many others. This is going to be used for, if you can think of it, we'll use it for it. This arena belongs to the community and belongs to everybody. I want you to please save the date. Wednesday, July 25th, we'll be holding a press conference. At that time, we're going to tell you the team name, the team colors, introduce our head coach, introduce our first player signings, and introduce our great quality staff that we have on board, and we have most of them already signed as of today. The Elmira soon-to-be-named team and the Elmira Pioneers bring a lot of revenue to this city, to the Twin Tiers. I hope everybody knows tomorrow night, the 2018 Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League All-Star Game is happening right here in Elmira. There will be 60 of the best players in the world that will soon be drafted in Major League Baseball, and that will be happening over at historic Dunfield tomorrow night. On this Saturday, July 21st, we have a Wounded Warrior Amputee softball team coming in, and it's an amazing game if you've never watched it. There'll be fireworks, fireworks, fireworks after the game. We're bringing in a world-famous national anthem singer who will also be a speed painter at the same time. You have to just see this guy. We are so excited about the opportunity, and thank you again to the fans, the people, the sponsors. You're the ones that make it happen. We're just the holders of the key. Thank you to my wife for my crazy ideas, for a young kid that started playing hockey when he was 2 years old, and growing up and drafted, that I'll tell a crazy story. I was drafted by the Flyers, and they cut me, and I went to the Red Wings, signed with the Detroit Red Wings, and they cut me. And I spent 10 years as a pro hockey player, mostly all in the American Hockey League. Then I coached for 10 years all around the country. I GM for 10 years all around the country. And I haven't found a city, a small community, the city, the county, everything is beautiful, what we have in our own backyard. So thank you to everybody. It's going to be an amazing season. Tickets are now on sale. The people that I heard are ready to buy them. Guys, we have some employees in the back. Raise your hand. There's some of our employees. They have their season ticket forms. Old season ticket holders, you'll be a renewal. We want to get you to your seat that you've had for the last 18 years, 17 years, 10 years. You're not going to lose your seat, so don't be worried about your seat. And we're so excited. Thank you to Al Charlap again, Mike Cruzen, for all the work that you have done. There's been times that I've wanted to give up and walk away, and we kept on fighting and kept on working. Thank you to Alan. Thank you to everybody. And this is all about the fans. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for any of us? We can take questions. Any questions? Great. Media, everybody will be available for one-on-ones.
Just for Tom or Alan, just in terms of the agreement and the deal for the county, I mean, how does this work out for the county financially?
Great.
Well, the IDA, makes it easier for you.
Yeah, that's an important distinction. It's not owned by the county, it's owned by the Industrial Development Agency. The way the lease is going to work is this. We've, through the IDA, have committed to $200,000 of capital improvements. As you heard from Robbie, we need to do some work on the ice plant. We need some roof repairs on a temporary basis, and a number of other things that just need to be spruced up over the next couple of weeks. So we've committed to put $200,000 into capital improvements, as well as provide some assistance for utility expenses for the first $100,000 of utility expenses. It's a very expensive operation. All other expenses and all revenue generated here will be Robbie's. As he mentioned, he's the holder of the keys, and that will be his obligation to meet those expenses, and obviously meet those expenses by revenues such as sponsorship, ticket sales, concessions, and again, that's where I think it's important that we as a community get behind Robbie. These are expensive propositions, running a hockey team and running a facility this size. We need fans. We need fans to come back and be here and enjoy hockey and enjoy downtown. We need our sponsors, and we're going to work with Robbie to make sure that they come back. We're going to certainly have a county night as we've had in the past. So it's important for this entire community to get behind this effort. Otherwise, it will fail, and it will not be successful. And I have full confidence that Robbie will fill the seats. Hey, Alan called me one morning just to tell me that Robbie was standing in the line at Dunkin' Donuts passing out tickets as people went through to get coffee. So I will tell you this, he's certainly the guy to fill this place with fans. So we're very excited about that. But that really, in a nutshell, is the arrangement. It's a year-to-year lease, so 1 year with 2 one-year renewals. What we hope to do is move to ownership for Robbie, and we hope to do that as quickly as possible. And I mentioned earlier, this is going to be very critical. We need to get that state grant to bring this place back up to full capacity in terms of the mechanical operations of the boiler and the ice plant and all those other things that are required. So if we're able to get that grant, secure that grant, and put Robbie on a path to ownership and put people in the stands here, I will tell you that's going to be a huge success story for our community.
And Mike, just to clarify, so,
Sure.
so Robbie won't be writing a lease check to the IDA. He'll be writing plenty of other checks.
Well, I think there's a nominal rent. I think it was $125 a month, because we have to have a nominal rent in order to execute. Yes, U.S. dollars, not Canadian. Yes, but so that'll happen as well. And the lease for the media, the lease will be available. If you want it, you can contact our office tomorrow, and we'll certainly give you a copy of it so you can read through it.
Mike, can I just clarify something, too, that I think it's important? Mike speaks on behalf of the IDA. I just want a brief second on the county's involvement. You know, this has been a community facility since the first day it opened up. I think people sometimes forget that it really was government. It was the state, the city of Elmira, and the county of Chemung that made commitments back in 1999 to build a facility in downtown Elmira. Because sometimes we talk about, is government money in the facility, is government money not in the facility? It was the generosity of the state, then the governor, who stepped up, our state elected officials, and again the city and the county, and we did it for a particular reason. We thought that it would be important to put a facility like this, despite all the talk that there was, that this could really change the way we do business in this community. And I think during those great days it did. And we need to get back, and again, we think we have the person that can do it. Relative to, it really is important to me, and I know to the legislature as I break this microphone, that we distinguish between the IDA, which is a public benefit corporation. I serve on it, Mike, and Alan. Mike is actually staff, and there are other members. County government is different. The one commitment that I made is county executive, because I know how people felt strongly. They want to see hockey, but they want to make sure it's not going to interfere with the financial health of the government, of the county, or whatever. And that is what we're trying to do. The opportunity to get $3 million for the state, the fact that the county will be involved during that period if we can get the money, to work with Robbie to get this into his hands, as Mike said. But, a lot of people ask me this, and I just want to clarify it because I think it's important. There is no county taxpayers' money in this facility when you pay your county taxes. There is not sales tax money. We, through the generosity of Casella, which has been very good to us over time, has put up money to make sure that the people that did not get their money for work they did in this facility be made whole. Mike did, and I should have said this, and I want to apologize for not saying to Mike, who serves in another capacity as my deputy, Mike worked his heart out to make this happen. He really did. He was committed to it, and he put a lot of time in to make it, and him and Robbie spent a lot of time together. So I just want everybody to understand the level of commitment that we made, that we realized the importance of keeping this open. We also realized the fact that there's a lot of people who say to us, don't put our taxpayers' money into it. We've been able to avoid that by other channels, and I just think that that's an important distinction. But on the other hand, this place only lives because of the investment that government made. And let's make sure that we have our third chance. And I've always believed third time is the time it happens, that now we have the opportunity to take this and go with it. So let's work together, stay together, and as Robbie would say, let's buy season tickets. So thank you very much. Here, fix this, will you?
Well, thank you very much for coming today. To the media, we're all available for one-on-ones. And go Elmira, team to be named.